let's put some soybeans in the drill and finish planting these soybeans today before the rain rolls in here. All right, we're ready to roll. All right, the pooch really screwed me on this one. You see all of this brown weeds, grass, whatever. It's actually volunteer wheat. Most of it is volunteer wheat. I made the executive decision to send the Birdman in here with the mulcher and work this field up. It's about 16 acres in this field. Well, that was a horrible mistake because it was just too much grass. I had sprayed it about 3 weeks ago, so everything was dead. But here's an example right here. This volunteer wheat. So I had just enough volunteer wheat that just screwed this up. It did not go through the mulcher like it should have. I ran the field cultivator over it this morning, and I fought this stuff. It kept building up on the field cultivator. Then you have to lift it up and let it out, and then back up and drag that pile to spread it out. So it's a little bit rougher than I want, but it's only part of the field. Once I get over there, you can just see the difference in there. I had sprayed that in the fall, just with chemicals I had left over. It was close to home, so I went out and sprayed it. Didn't have enough to do the entire field, so there's where the difference was. So I've got about 6 acres here that is rougher than I want it to be. I really should have run the disc over it first, but oh well. Next year I'll come back over here and straighten this part out and level it a little bit better. And it doesn't help matters any that this field is right on the main road here. So everybody's gonna see the mess that I've made. And because of all this extra grass on here, I've got the soybeans going in the ground a little bit deeper than I want, but I want to get them in the ground where that grass is heavy. I know if I didn't have the coulters going deep enough and with enough pressure on it where that grass is, they were just going to lay on top. So I've got some that are going too deep and others that are going to be just right. So when they come up, it's going to be a mess. But I've got about 4 more passes to make, and then I'm going to get out and readjust the depth on them because the rest of the field is clean with no problems. Man. Oh well, I don't care what everybody else thinks. How does that saying go? As long as they're talking about me, they're not talking about you. So yeah, I'm used to people talking about me. And I've learned to just let it roll off my back and down my front and into my shoes. As I'm sitting here thinking about this, you can see the difference where there's this brown dried out wheat here, and then it's clean over there for the most part. I did not spray this with Roundup. This part I did not spray last fall after the soybeans came off. I put Gramoxone on that part of the field before the soybeans came off. I had a little bit, or I won't say a little bit, I had quite a bit of escape on grasses because I did not get a good stand on my soybeans that I planted after I harvested the wheat last year. So the grass, came up through those soybeans, and in order for me to harvest those soybeans, I decided to spray Gramoxone to kill that grass that was there, and then I was able to harvest those soybeans a whole lot easier. And I only had the problem on that side of the field, so that's where I sprayed the Gramoxone, so that's why there's a difference. And this is my last pass with all of this volunteer wheat, so once I turn around, I'm going to get out and readjust the drill. All right. right, on each one of these planting units, I have to move this handle down 1 notch. This is the gauge wheel, so by moving this handle down 1 notch, it doesn't allow this gauge wheel to go all the way up. It will push this gauge wheel down, which then lifts the unit up so it doesn't put the soybeans in the ground as deep. When this drill was new, you could move those with your hand, but things have gotten a little stiff over the years, me included, and so it's easier now to do it with a hammer. All right, let's get back at it. Okay, I'm down to the last 10 acres here in the last field, but if we look off to the west, clouds are building. I need about 1 hour and 10 minutes, 15 minutes to finish this field. And I don't know if I'm going to get it. Let me look at the radar here. Oh. Yes, storms are building to our west. All right, I might do it. I might be able to make it. Let's see how this goes. I've started in the middle of the field and I'm working my way to the tree line because this half of the field is the wetter half. So in case it rains before I finish, you know, hopefully I can get this side done. That side there dries out quicker. So I've stepped it up a little bit to about 6 miles an hour because if it does rain on this, since it is tilled up, it'll take a while to get back in here and finish. So we're gonna push it here and try to make it happen. Hey, I believe I'm gonna make it. I've got that side done over there. So I'm just working from here over to there. It's probably 10 or 12 passes. And I just looked at the radar and I think I've got an hour before the rain moves in. So yeah, unless something else happens, I think I can finish it. Well, I spoke too soon. You see that mark right there in the field? I've got one coulter back there with a bad bearing. It's on the second row, the third one in. So it's just kind of dragging. But it's not making a mess because I don't have any grass and crap on here like that other field. So I think I can finish this field without doing anything to that. I'm down to about 6 or 8 passes maybe. If all else fails, I can just drop that one off completely and finish this field. I've got a little bit of grass over there. It may drag up, but that's okay. It won't take that long. It's one roll pin, a couple of bolts, and I can drop that off of there and keep on planting. All right, I think I've got to take it off of here. It's dragging up. All I got to do is loosen these bolts and take that roll pin out and it'll drop down. Okay, just like that. Clouds are getting darker. This little bit of grass was mainly onions there. That coulter was going to catch on that and drag it up into a pile and then leave a big trench. You can see it was starting to drag up a little bit there. Since this is tilled ground, the soybeans are still going to go in the ground. I don't really need that coulter to cut the track for those soybeans or for the openers. And I'm gonna make it. I'm on the last pass, and then I've got the other end to go across. And those clouds are getting darker. The rain is getting closer, but I'm not going to get wet. And it is planted. I did not plant this side of the road. It's about 2.5 acres there, because I've still got about 10 acres of corn left to plant. And I think I'm going to have enough corn left to plant this field. So rather than waste the seed, I think I'll just go ahead and plant this corn if I have enough left. Okay, I've got a few soybeans here on the truck I've got to put in the barn. And then I've got to clean up my mess here and do a few other things before this rain rolls in. Oh boy, those clouds are looking worse. But I've got everything put away in the barn now, so if it wants to storm, it can. I don't hear thunder yet. Okay, I don't have everything put away yet. I've still got one more piece of equipment here to put away. Farmer's daughter was cutting grass earlier today, and this thing started acting up on her. It's the fuel filter, so I blew the fuel filter out. I think it's okay now, but I do need a new fuel filter. Okay, let me put this away, and then I'll have it all in the barn. All right, that's the end of this day. It's time to head home for an adult beverage, so I'm gonna say see ya! See ya!